Hey, what's up, folks? Welcome back to the caster. Rog the Dwarf and Merlot, they get left behind. Their voices and personalities were exciting, but that only really takes you so far in the world of commentary, and even less far when you venture into other things around that world. Presentation, just as big a part of being a caster as anything else, and that's what we're going to focus on today. Who can stand on stage and set up a show, and who will fall flat? Let's see on the caster. Morning, guys, and welcome to Hi-Rez Studios, the other side of Hi-Rez Studios. Now, you guys have seen the esports side, and esports isn't all just fun and games. You also have to do some other things, like working closely with development. That's why we came right to the heart and soul of Paladins, so we could really focus on a different type of show. Kelly's done that before, and that's why we've got her right here.
That's right, guys. When I wasn't hosting esports events or doing interviews, I was actually producing a lot of our content on YouTube and Twitch. I did our patch note shows, I did our weekly content shows, and that's what we are going to have you guys do. You guys are going to be taking patch notes from SMITE, Paladins, and Hand of the Gods, and you're going to be formulating what you think is the best patch note show. You're going to have to allocate time for what segments you think need it best, and you're going to have to organize it yourselves. So, good luck.
Well, you heard her. Let's get right to it.
You know, we're getting in the top 4, and no matter how many people I like here, or no matter how humble I want to be, it doesn't change the fact that there has to be one winner, and it's definitely going to get chippy.
Recently, all 10 of us were kind of giving each other hints and helping us out because we were friendly with each other, but now the only thing that really matters is winning.
I don't think people realize once you're that close to $10,000, like up till now it's been like, hey, it's cool to be here. If I go home 6th, it's whatever. But if you're going home 3rd, 4th, 2nd, and you're right there at that money, you'll start to see how people really are.
All right, guys, y'all have 5 minutes to put together your patch notes show, and the time starts now.
I would say that this challenge is deceptively hard.
Hopefully they don't flip all our boards around and make me cast somebody else's or something, but we'll see.
I've never trolled in my life. I hate trolls.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pin boards down, guys. You are done, and now it's time to judge.
Welcome back, casters. We had you guys finish up your mini challenge. All of you have figured out some way to position your patch notes show. Kelly, I'm sure you have some questions for them.
I do. I actually haven't picked a winner yet. I want to ask you guys all a little question so that I can understand your formatting. John Finch, you have 2 minutes on Meditation Cloak. Can you explain why?
Yeah, that's easy enough to talk about here. Meditation Cloak had a couple of changes. First off, it had to change the way the healing worked on it. It's like scaling off the level here now. It's for like a flat amount, from 15% of casters max health to 75. So when you got that much change on there, it's a lot of text. You want to make sure you go through it, spend a little more time on it. Plus, it's something that was picked up a lot, especially by newer players. So you want to make sure you spend some time on it when you make that kind of change.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Gabby, you had 30 seconds at the top and the bottom. What are those for?
So I was going to operate under the assumption that this was a stand-alone patch note session, so leaving some time in the beginning and end for an intro and outro to make it a bit smooth, as opposed to just, here's all the content that we have for you, close it out and bye.
All right, thank you so much. Ron Jobert, 32 minutes on the new champ?
Yeah, I kind of imagined that there would be designer input, as well as seeing every ability, new skins, voice lines, that kind of thing.
But it has a 10-minute limit.
I mean, I did not see that in the box.
Okay. Rabies, you brought up the crash first.
Yes.
Why is that?
From being a live streamer for a couple of years now, there's one thing I've learned about doing some broadcasts and giving away things, and with new information especially, the Twitch trolls, they will leave if you're not giving them something. They're out of your stream.
All right, thank you so much. All right, we got Supersonic. You put a new god second in your patch note show? Why is that?
My reasoning for that is everyone is coming to see this new god. It is the piece which, when you're looking towards the Twitter, it is always that big hype piece. You start with the new god, then going to skins, then going into god changes, item changes. You just get this downward curve. So giving the skins, then going into this as well, it just feels like it has a little bit of a better flow, personally, for me.
Okay, thank you so much. It was close between three of you, Gabby, Finch, and Ron Jobert. You guys perfectly mimic the way that we used to run our patch note shows. We like to have the important gods at the very end because we want to have a build up for our viewership all the way through. We like to build that suspense. We try to never start with crashes because although you do like to present to the viewers, you are also presenting to the developers and representing them. So although it was hard, I'm going to give it to Gabby. You were one of the only people that allotted time for an intro and an outro, and your organization was perfect. So congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Very good job, guys. Gabriella will be the victor here, and that means you get a bonus in the main challenge. Now, the main challenge, you guys did the work. We're gonna make you actually put on the show now. And as a gift to you for being on top, Gabriella, you get to choose not only who your special co-host will be, but all four of the rest of your friends. You're the one that gets to choose who they rock with. So the fate is in the hands of Gabriella. We'll see how she picks it out in just a minute as we get on to the main challenge.
Gabby winning is fine. I mean, I guess she won. They said that she won because she had the intro and the outro, which is smart. There was no intro and outro panel, so it's just kind of an assumption. Maybe if they don't think that that's an intro and an outro, it looks bad on her. I have no idea. I think mine was better, but the error was probably a lot larger.
I wasn't expecting to see some people so excited about who they got paired with, so that got me kind of nervous, because then if they do well because of the pairing, then that's my fault. I'm the one that did that. So it's kind of more nerve-wracking now that I saw no one was like, oh man, everyone was just thinking, oh cool, I got who I wanted. So I wasn't expecting that, and I just don't know how to handle that.
So with Gabriella winning the mini challenge, she gets to choose who everybody gets together with for the main challenge. They put together some patch notes, and it's a little bit different than esports commentary. Golden Boy, your specialty is commentary, but I know you've done some hosting as well. What are you looking for in these patch notes, people?
Yeah, you know, I've done hosting at events like Comic-Con and PAX East and etc. So one of the challenges that I always deal with, especially dealing with so many, different personalities and individuals, is awkwardness, right? Because you never really quite know how the dialogue is going to turn out. So it's going to be one of my major things, like how can they handle the dialogue with someone that they've never really spoken to before. That's going to be very unique and interesting given the personalities that we have both on the Hi-Rez side and the casting side.
Got to really keep that flow.
Yeah.
Kelly, you're the old guard. What are you looking for in the patch notes?
I'm actually really excited to see these casters bring it into their own. The way that I ran patch notes and the way that Hinduman, Bart, and Drybear were all completely different, and the community liked and hated us all. So I want to see how they can make it their own and really shine in this.
Now, Hinduman, Graham, this is your current job, and you work with literally everybody. So what are you looking for out of these casters?
Literally everybody's the key there. And the one thing you've got to do on the Patch Notes show, which is, it's all ad-lib, first of all. It is all ad-lib. You've got to go on the fly, but you have to play to the strengths and weaknesses of the people on the show with you. Make them shine, even if it's at the cost of yourself. Make them shine and cover their weaknesses, but at the same time, cover the content.
Yeah, that's the key. A lot of different personalities and a lot of different challenges when it comes to this main one. We'll see how all the casters do here on The Caster. No commentary this time around for our contestants. Instead, it's showtime. Our casters will be paired with a Hi-Rez employee of Gabriella's choosing, and not everybody's used to working on camera. As a host, it's up to our casters to make sure everybody feels and looks as comfortable as possible. 10 full minutes to fill, and of course, make sure to keep the content in mind. You want to help your co-host out without putting them down.
Good morning, afternoon, or evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Hi-Rez Blur. Joining me is the wonderful, if not slightly eccentric, Tina.
Hi.
I am ecstatic to be working with Tina. I love the energy that she brings with this. I think it's going to really help me work on bringing forward that personality, just being genuine with this kind of stuff.
Welcome everybody to the Paladins Open Beta 48 patch notes. I'm Gabriella LaTigress W. Allen, joined here by Rory, aka Driver, aka the Design King. How you doing today?
Let's say Prince for now. Let's see if we can climb up to King.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
doing well. I'm doing well. How you doing?
Driver, man, knows a lot about Paladins. I know that I'm going to stick very much with a hosting and facilitating aspect, so having somebody that has a deep knowledge of the game, as he obviously does, I think that'll be a good balance here.
Welcome to Patch Notes 4.7. That is Pillars of Success. I'm Young Link. I'm going to be your host here today. And I got my boy Adonis. I know you're more in the hands of the gods here now, but I'm going to pick that old SMITE pro brain here to help me out. You know, he's a real pro. It's like, I mean, you can get why he's here. He stayed cool and calm. You know, it's easy when you come in there and knowing how important all this is to us. You know, to worry you might mess something up for us. But I mean, he was just as easy to work with as you'd think watching it.
Hello, Hi-Rez enthusiasts. My name is Rabies, and I am alongside the phenomenal Pon.
Hello.
How you guys doing? And we have some Hand of the Gods 4.3 patch notes to present to you today. Pon and I, we had a phenomenal cast, I feel. We got through everything. We were more of an informative SMITE Paladins, you know, not as goofy really, but more of an informative SMITE Hand of the Gods broadcast. But Pon and I, it was very fluid between us. He has a great voice, and I really enjoyed working with him.
Welcome everybody to patch OB46. I'm Ron Jobbert, and I have with me Thomas Holt, lead art director of Paladins. I'm actually extremely excited because as an art student myself, I love the design of the game. It's very clean, it's honestly really fun.
Tom was really, really fun for the art and design.
He almost has a magician kind of quality, the way
Very
he
upright.
poses himself and holds himself. And so he's not as big of a departure with this kind of like British Victorian kind of vibe to him, but it is definitely a different twist from what we've seen in core MOBA. And then the snake is, I can't believe you missed
love
the snake. The snake is amazing.
Well, while Maeve is gonna look sassy yet classy, we have Bomb King going for something a bit more elaborate with his Biz King skin. I personally think it's hilarious, the contrast between the pinstripe suit and then this long cape behind him with that royalty feel. Do you think this is a bold, fashion-forward move or just a little over the top?
I don't think Bomb King cares. He's strong enough where he's just independent. He's got his own style. He's got his own thing going. He's the Wolf of Wall Street.
I think if anyone can pull it off, it's Bomb King. He was not only knowledgeable about the content, but also conscious of time.
Vampiric Scylla skin's looking great. The second one we got coming up here for you, that's going to be Modern Messenger Mercury. I want you all to imagine here, like if Mercury was here in 2017 and punching you in the face, this is what he'd look like. I'm sure we got him up here on the screen here for you. He's going to be part of the reward for the season ticket for you. So that means if you're not like me and Adonis, you're actually getting your FP. Eventually you'll be able to get this this Modern Messenger Mercury skin as a reward for moving that one on. So you think you might be playing a little more Mercury moving forward after this?
I think I might be buying some fantasy points to get this skin, to be honest. I really, it's because predicting the games has not been going well for me. I've been way too far off.
Oh, Kevin definitely helped. There were some I was able to throw to him easily. You know, anything I asked him, he had some good knowledge for it.
First, let's get right into it. Chinese Knight is going to be disabled due to some freezing and glitching. We need to get that out of there for a little bit.
Yeah, it was causing some crashes. It is a beta game. We're kind of working on making sure everything's polished. Some things can go haywire in game development.
Right.
So we've disabled it for now. We're going to get that back to you as quickly as we possibly can.
Yeah, we're going to cut that out, and we're going to move right on. That's the only crashing patch notes we have.
We've got a couple skins coming up for you. The first one we're going to be talking about is the Secret Order Ulra skin, which if we just throw up that card up now, it looks pretty, that's a pretty nice skin right now there.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, it's a really nice skin. It's so nice you're lost for words. So
Yeah.
we're gonna get
I don't know what to say.
in game right now and have a look at that. And again, just going into the axe stance, Oh, we got blue this time rather than actual gold.
Oh, I thought
That's
that was
nice.
a chicken.
You thought it was?
Because it was blurry, I thought it was like one of those
He's just gonna fire.
chickens.
So
yeah.
Aura's now gonna fire chickens. Who needs axes when you have chickens, right? Poultry
Right.
power. I tried to make sure that I was engaging with her at the same time. I say tried to. I hope that it came across within the actual show.
So when it comes to Evil Mojo, there was a bug there where players who died while affected by Evil Mojo, the most fun ultimate in the game by far, would see their weapons while dead. That's fixed. That's gone. So you won't see your weapons anymore. Stop emailing me about it. A lot of emails to me. Torvald, that shield. Even people in other departments that wouldn't know about the balance of the game know that shield is insane.
The fact that he didn't even want to comment on balance was a little bit challenging, just because the practicing, you just expect a back and forth for every single mark on that patch note.
The Sparrow Nike skin, we're gonna get that card up here because once that art's on the screen, we're gonna get to take a look at Nike's assets, I believe, on that card art, because she is moving away in the pictures.
It's never gonna be as bad as the Buster Nut, but that's not the only skin we have coming.
Whoa! I never. How do you know that story?
The Buster Nut story? The one coming through from, come on, everyone knows Buster Nut. It's fine.
All right.
It's
all right.
fine.
Let's just, for
But yeah,
next time.
next skin.
We see him pushing. If we see him go offensive, he could rush into a bunch of enemies and then use his illusion to get back, put his illusion with taunt in the middle, and then put his enemy at a circumstance where it's either do they attack the illusion with taunt to not take the 1 damage adjacently to everyone, or do they focus that and not put damage on the summoning stones or Ao Kong himself?
Well, I think the key that you're pointing out there is flexibility in these cards, right? Like you can put him in this deck that you can buff Ao Kong, he means it's really good frontliner. You can put him there just be this thing that absorbs spells that could be removed really quickly, or you can be there. He's the protector, right?
Absolutely.
Well, I know everyone will be super stoked to bring her into the realm, and if you have a lineup with her looking like the Goon Squad with everybody else, that should be interesting. But of course, this is going to end our open beta 48 patch notes. Gabriella La Tigress, Debbie Allen signing off here with Dry Bear. Until next time, good morning, afternoon, evening, and good night.
Yeah, well, we're happy to have, be able to go through these patch notes. Thank you all so much for tuning in here with us. We're just about at the end of it. We'll have 4.8 coming out of here to you no time soon, so thanks for sticking around.
Once again, everyone, that's going to conclude our Hand of the Gods SMITE patch notes. My name is Rabies, alongside the amazing Pon Pon. I love you, buddy. I hope to see you soon.
Yep, definitely.
And whenever you get kills, you get more gold the more kill streak you have currently. And then finally, his ultimate, it's exactly what you'd expect. It's called the Law, and that is Burst. I think we did fine.
Not the best, but the strong. I think the strong points were really high.
That was my favorite challenge. I enjoyed that so much. Tina is really great fun to work with. She was as nervous as I was going into this, so.
Pon Pon helped me, and the reason why he did was because pacing is a big part of this challenge. Pacing and the way you speak and the way your show format is. So with that being said, Pon Pon, he stayed to the script, he stayed within the time allotments, and we had a nice job. We did a good job.
When he heard the 30 seconds, as opposed to rambling on, which he easily could have done, and that would have been very, very bad because I'd have no closer, he instead responded, was aware of it. So I was very thankful that he took this in a very professional manner.
Welcome back, guys. There's 5 of you. We had you set up a patch note show, and then we had you actually put it on. Now it's time for you guys, as usual, to get judged. For that, I leave it to Golden Boy, Kelly, and Hindu.
Yeah, thanks, F-Top. Guys, today's a tough challenge because it's not necessarily commentary work, it's hosting work more often than not. And that's a tricky thing to do, especially when you're working with talent that necessarily won't be as trained as you guys or as experienced in front of the camera. And it's always a tricky task. So we'll start things off. Gabby, can you take a step forward for me?
It seemed like you were presenting the patch notes, and that can work very well for some people, but I'm basing this off of Hi-Rez patch notes from my personal experience, and a lot of people like it to be a conversation, they like it to be interactive, and I didn't get that from you.
I personally liked it. You know, I'm not a Hi-Rez employee or former Hi-Rez employee. So like my perspective on it was very different, where what I heard, there wasn't any issue there, right? Like, and yes, you were right, time allocation was in fact so accurate that when 10 minutes hit, like I had a timer, it went off. Literally as soon as you said the last word, it went off.
But
Unbelievable.
I almost feel like you were paying too much attention to time allocation instead of just having it be a natural conversation.
My worry is that, I don't know, I just need something more. Ever since that first cast with Merlot, you guys were great, and it was so surprising, and it was a breath of fresh air, and I know you got it in you. I know you have the capability to do this, and you know, I want to see more.
I think the big thing is growth. Is the one thing we're definitely looking for in a competition like this. When you've got people from all walks of life getting involved here, you're looking for growth. At the moment, you're doing your job, and it's good, it's solid, but growth is going to really make you shine even better. You're my favorite today, just so you know.
Appreciate that.
Go ahead and stay there for right now.
Almost word for word, the judges said what my fear has been this entire week. Since day one and doing well in these mini challenges, and everyone was saying, no, you'll be fine, you're great. I've been saying, you know, I think it's gonna be hard because I'm doing well early, and there's a likelihood that they'll think I peak, or if I'm doing the same thing over and over again.
All right, John Finch, can you please come up? Mr. Young Link, what did you forget?
The notes, my outline that I wrote I realized as I was writing on my Mr. Ritual, so I wrote myself a note off to the left, but I think that just because it wasn't in the same format as everything else, I skipped right over it.
But even you forgetting rituals, you were still my favorite out of everyone here. You were charming, you engaged your co-host. I thought Adonis and you have been friends forever. It was the easiest patch notes to listen to. And I really wish that you could actually host the patch notes from now on.
Thank you so much.
Maybe co-host.
Okay. Nah, kick the bread off, you know, that's just what I say.
Finch, I think you were fantastic today. I was really impressed. Really impressed. Like, your pacing was fantastic. I loved your pacing. And you kept me interested too. You really kept me interested, but you let me down on missing stuff off the patch notes.
Yeah.
But like the information about that is very key, because it was actually a big game-changing moment for that to happen, and you missed it. That hurt. That's why for me, like, you did great today, but I couldn't give you the win just because of that.
Yeah.
Great performance though.
You definitely felt much more casual, almost as if you've watched this show numerous times in the past.
Every single time it's on,
yeah. As a fan of SMITE, I can only imagine. You had some good jokes in there too, man. Like, you talked about assets, which I thought was like the assets little quip, because, you know, like, but, right? Like, I respect it. That was pretty good. You did speed up though, and we've told you this a lot at this point, and this is where I am going to get a bit critical on you here, because I know you could do it. I know you can go fast, and you could bring the hype and the excitement. This is a patch notes show though, so there was a certain tone that you have to have throughout the show, and it's food for thought as well.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Thank you. Once again, they were spot on. I mean, I missed a point in the show, and it's frustrating if that's what cost me the error, because really it just means that when I wrote my notes, my formatting error in there is what cost me.
Okay, coming up next, we got rabies.
I criticized you for putting the bug fix at the start of the show, and you explained to me why you did it, and I still didn't give you the win for it. But when I saw that during the Patch Notes show, it was funny, it was quick, and it actually was a really great way to just get something that no one really cared about out of the way. And I gotta give you props for that, because I wouldn't have done that myself, and I probably should have. And I could like learn from that as well, because in my head it's always a strict format, and you proved to me that it doesn't have to be a strict format. Beyond that, you asked really good questions, and you always followed up with something as well. You were listening to Pon Pon. Anything he had to say, you would always finish his thought. And that's, a lot of people will just ask a question, hear the answer, and then go on to their next question, and you didn't do that.
The downside for me today was the pace. It did felt very, very speedy the whole way through. It kind of what, you know, Golden Boy was saying to John, it's the same sort of thing. It was just too quick for me overall. It felt like it was a slow down, just a hair, just a touch. And I know that's not your nature, but I think that would have worked out better for that sort of show. It was a great performance though.
Thanks, I'm definitely gonna work on it.
I think we're good to let them know
Yeah.
that we couldn't settle on a winner. You were my winner.
Finch, you were mine.
Gabby, you know you were mine. And we couldn't literally sway each other's opinions either, just so you know. So that's how close it was. And you've heard us all speak highly of all three of you today. So to that under your belt that we all consider you really good. You did a great job.
So congratulations, you guys are safe, and we'll be moving on to the next round.
Awesome, thank you.
Waiting so long for that, and knowing that you're going to be in the bottom, and knowing that there's a chance that you could go home is rough.
All right, gentlemen. Ron Jobbert, why do you think you are here?
I did not have the synergy that I was expecting. And I got that really early, and I tried to compensate with things that we could both talk about forever, which in a pacing competition is not exactly, it's not necessary at this point, but I think covering up the faults and letting two people that love one thing talk about it is impressive, especially on those highs. I think they were really high, but the lows I could tell myself that it was weak.
Your opening was fantastic. The questions that you were asking to Holt were specific, and it was obvious that you knew what you were talking about, and in a dev situation that's very important, but that doesn't make up for the fact that you did not end your cast. That is a huge problem, and obviously in the patch notes show you guys have a lot more leeway, but in casting, when you have to throw to a video at a specific time, you can't go over that time.
Supersonic.
Hi. Why do you think you're here?
The exact same reason. It got to 30 seconds left. We still had a huge piece left. Rituals are coming back, and it was just, I got to try and end this, get something to cut it off. And so it felt rushed. It didn't hold itself well at the end, and it fell apart.
I did like the way you started with Tina, though. It was exciting. Did like the fact, though, that it kind of felt like you were controlling it. I've never seen Tina, and you know I work with Tina a lot.
Yeah.
I've never seen Tina go, yeah,
Right.
Right? And over.
She was saying a lot that she was really nervous. I said to her, I will try and help move a lot of this. So as a result, I'm trying to make sure that she was as comfortable as possible in the situation. I said to her, at the end of the day, you can say whatever you want. It's my head that comes down to being in the smasher.
Point, yeah.
So
I know that feel. That's me on the patch notes every week with her, so don't worry, I get that bit.
Yeah.
But I did like, what I would have liked more there was asking her some questions, bringing her in more. I know you were trying to you made it too much like a real patch note show when you realized it wasn't.
Yeah.
And that kind of hurt you a little bit in my eyes, because you should have asked her more questions, got her more involved, and she would have been as nervous then.
Yeah.
To just say what you want is one thing, but they're not going to speak unless you speak to them.
It's all about the little things at this point. My little thing for Supersonic, the thing that really frustrated me was it felt scattered. It felt very, very scattered. You were saying a lot of things really fast, and not a lot of it was making sense. And to be fair, I didn't follow the show at all. And then for Ron, just real quick, you noticed you were running out of time, and then he freaked out. And then you got really fast. And that's very uncharacteristic of you.
I guess it's time for one of you to go home. Anyone prefer to go home, by the way, first of all?
It's a really mean question.
You never know. Listen, sometimes people fall on the sword, right? Like, you gotta give it a go. It's suspense.
British people.
The top 5 here are probably the best 5, and I'd actually be willing to work with any of you. If my company gave me the permission to hire anyone, it would be you 5 straight away. I think you guys were all fantastic this week. Unfortunately, one of you 2 have to go. I'm not gonna leave you hanging too long. Person one going home, Supersonic. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. And can I just say, it's been great. And as I said when I first started this, you guys reached out for an opportunity for people. And to everyone who put in that application, don't give up on this. You have the opportunity to do so. Keep working at it. You've seen everyone here. Everyone here has strengths and weaknesses. But it's not about what your strengths and weaknesses are. It's how you work with them and how you improve them.
The fact that you're aware of that shows that how much you've grown and how much you've learned
damn sure I'm coming back. You ain't getting rid of me yet.
And that's what we want to see, man. That passion, that personality, and we know it's there, and we know you have the capability. We've kept you here halfway through the contest, but I want to see more from you after this, all right?
You will too.
You can bring so much to this with that passion that you have, and not just passion for the scene, but passion to prove yourself. Keep at it.
Thank you. Keep annoying Dean Brandon for me, man. It sucks, it really sucks, but as I said to them, this ain't gonna be the end. and it's one of the few things I'm actually proud to be able to say that I did this, and I made it as far as I did, on my own steam.
So far we've had them cast exciting games, we've had them cast slower games, we've had them put on a different show. Well-rounded skills and a well-rounded group of people. There's 4 left, and we're gonna keep getting down until we find one individual. We'll see you next time on The Caster. Hey, what's up, folks? Tom Battinger here. On behalf of everybody that took part, thanks for watching The Caster. We really appreciate it. But if you want to dig even deeper and find behind-the-scenes action, some commentary, and all the other fun stuff, check out The Caster's YouTube page, youtube.com/TheCasterShow. We definitely appreciate it, and we'll see you later.